Okay, so here we go.
I'm just remembering how my partner introduced this when we were giving you the menu at the beginning of the program. Not OCRITICal, OCRITICAl.
I mean,
OCRITICAl Technologies Limited.
well, whether or not that inspired it, you'll find out.
Well, OCRITICAl Technologies is a technological company with a targeted inclination towards creating digitized solutions for African challenges, including but not limited to healthcare. Well, that all sounds like grammar. And all that comes after that sounds like grammar as well. But we don't have to wander for too long. We have the CEO and the co-founder of OCRITICAl Technologies, Dr. David Oludara.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
And his name is also informative.
His name is
Oludara.
His name is also critical.
And he's also Dara-ing.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, ma'am.
Good
morning,
to have
sir.
you with us.
I'm highly honored to be here, ma'am.
Because when we said OCRITICAl, were you laughing with us?
The word OCRITICAl.
It is OCRITICAl.
It's actually OCRITICAl. Yes, ma'am.
Didn't I tell you?
You were right.
Come on.
OCRITICAl. The matter is critical.
It's very critical.
So let's deal with it.
It's a very serious something, ma'am. Very serious something. Very serious something. You know, Imoma go call him critical. Oh. But in Nigerian parlance, it's OCRITICAl.
OCRITICAl.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I remembered when I was 11 years old, you know, my mom was ill. She has a farm. So she went to her farm, a cocoa farm. And, you know, when she came back, she was stooling and vomiting. And was very small. So I took her to my uncle because I was the only one around her. It was a very Herculean task. So getting there, I couldn't help get aid to move her to the hospital. So I went to go and tell my dad that mom was ill. So before I got back, she was dead. Oh, now, looking back in retrospect, you know, when they asked me, how's your mom? You know, I said, situation, critical, sir. Critical, sir. Critical. So, you know, I was, you know, secondary school, and, you know, so when I got to by the grace of God, got to the university, you know, I studied medicine, and, you know, with the advancement in technology and all, looking back now in retrospect, what she died of was, we call it acute gastroenteritis, maybe from food poisoning or what have you. Mm-hmm. Now, she shouldn't have died.
Yes.
Primarily, maybe she died from hypovolemia, or maybe electrolyte derangement from excessive stooling or excessive vomiting from what she had been poisoned from. Now, if there was a mobile application in which you could just add it, you know, with, tip on a finger, just press, and there's an ambulance to move her to the hospital. First, might have given her IV fluids, maybe a liter or so, 2 bags or 2 pints, as the case may be, and she might be okay. I will correct the electrolytes. Now, mom still will still be around.
Is that what this is all about?
It was one of the inspirations. Inspiring it. So, OCRITICAl Technologies, we are a technological company. We use technology to create digitized products to solve the diverse and myriads of African problems.
Okay. Give me an example.
For instance, OCRITICAl Technologies, we have a platform, we have an app application. OCRITICAl. So it's a centralized, if we call ourselves a number one distress management application in Africa. You know, it ranges from, you know, medical to maybe transportation, or even to maybe security, as the case may be. For instance, the medical part. Maybe a patient needs an ambulance, or an elderly patient needs to be moved to the hospital, you know, and you need an ambulance. So on OCRITICAl, you can book an ambulance, and the ambulance will come and pick you right from where you are.
No, so
just to be clear,
OCRITICAl is an app.
Exactly.
Yes, we have an application. Yes, sir.
So that's what the whole thing is about.
Yes, sir.
An app to help people access services?
Services, particularly emergency services.
Okay, so
And
this is your website then?
Yes, sir.
Particularly
Yes, sir.
medical services.
Yes, sir. But not limited to medical.
Okay. What other services can one access?
Other service, for instance, okay, from ambulance services, laboratory services. You want to do investigations, still part of the medical. You want to see a doctor, that like telemedicine part, because COVID has disrupted the way we have known life to be. And we'll never...
We're getting too slow to telemedicine,
yes.
so COVID came to speed things up.
Yes, sir. And we'll never remain the same. So, and it's good to be future, you know...
Okay, speak to us. This is your website, right?
Yes, yes.
So what are the things that, you know, people find here?
Okay, part of what we have on our menu at on the OCRITICAl, from the I've mentioned the medical part. We also have...
just a second. What's the website so people can also get there and follow?
It's www.ocritical.com. OCRITICAl, you know, .com.
Just to be clear, because Mr. Oluwadara is just Dara in here. OCRITICAL is OC, right?
Yeah, OCRI.
Critical.
Yeah,
but
critical.
Just put an O.
Without apostrophe.
The letter O, without H, without apostrophe.
Yes, sir.
OCRITICal.com.
Yes, sir.
That's what the website is about.
It's also, our application is also on Google Play Store. The iOS is being reviewed, so people can, you know.
So speak to the services that you were trying to...
Okay, so the medical parts, from telemedicine, seeing a doctor, to geriatric care. You know, I'm a Yoruba guy. Meaning, okay, when at the old age, you know, there are some progressions, not necessarily disease as it were, but because of the use, wear and tear associated with growth. Yes, sir. So elderly people are usually elderly, and the lower age people, the pediatrics and the geriatrics, so they are usually susceptible to infections, wear and tear and all. So part of our service is not critical, like the home care service. We have geriatric care. Maybe, for instance, you have an elderly woman at home. You need, you know, a doctor to be seen at home. You need a nurse, home care nurse to be seeing her, a caregiver, someone to preparing a meal. You know, it's part of our services at OCRITICAl. Then maybe also part of, thank God for what our government is doing. We pray for more strength and more wisdom for them to do. Your car broke down. With OCRITICAl, at the tip of the button, you can order for a towing vehicle to come and help you, you know, move your vehicle from where you are to where you ought to be. Another one, I must not forget this, man. Everybody, may I sit down well, man, and sir, everybody is talking about jackpot. I'm sure almost everybody around you would have jackpot. Do you understand, President? Now, for instance, as a doctor, I'm an anesthetist by the grace of God. A lot of people are like, guy, you never jackpot. What did they do here? You know, OCRITICAl technologies, people have been complaining about doctors' brain drain, also solves that particular part of the brain drain. For instance, you know, being a doctor, being a nurse, being the physiotherapist or whatever, you dentist, you know, it is not an easy task. And after graduating and all, of course, we are rendering service, we are meeting needs, but this thing is also very important to keep body and soul together, to be sane, to render safe healthcare service to the patient. So, on critical, it also solves the problem of the brain drain. You know, for doctors who engage on a platform, they can also get passive income from also rendering service. I just needed to just chip that in, man.
Okay, so do you have your app on App Store?
Yes, it is. It is on Google Play Store.
Only Android for now?
Yes, sir, for now. Okay. The iOS is being reviewed. Before mid-December, we should have...
Okay, and it's called OCRITICAl as well?
OCRITICAl, yes,
OCRITICAl,
yes,
okay. Yes, this is a business. It is not charity.
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you make your money?
Okay. Okay, I was sharing with somebody outside. I will make money. You know, greatness is too big for an individual to achieve. Even the creator of heaven and earth, when he wanted to make his best, his most innovative products called human beings, he said, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness. Meaning, you know, for these great products, revolutionary products that is blessing Africa and to the ends of the earth. You know, we have partners that we work with, and you know, but in pardon say this page, man, when they talk, say we're person the work, now they chop, now why they call them workshop, you know. So we render service, and for us, it's more of, you know, adding value. So for adding value, they appreciate us for just a token of, you know,
so
rendering a service.
Those
You also connect to your app.
Yeah, it's free for people that are, you know,
looking for the service.
Yes.
But those that get called upon to deliver the service are the ones who give you something.
Yes. So, you know, for instance, now you sell. So I beg your pardon, man. Let me hold this, man. It's a very beautiful jug or mug, as the case may be. Now, you sell this on a platform.
Yeah.
Now, and sir, you want to buy it. So we have the platform. We provide a platform for you.
For me to advertise it.
Yes, ma'am. He buys from you. So, and you appreciate us for, wow, allowing you to meet the handsome.
I give you a commission.
Yes.
Okay, so that commission is a known agreed percentage.
Yes, sir.
Because it's not appreciation, it's commission.
Commission.
Full stop. So
No,
if I'm ill, for instance, and I call for the service of a doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
It is the doctor who will pay commission to you because he's duly registered.
Yes,
with OCRITICAl.
Yes.
So you have some signed agreement on that.
Yeah.
On the Play Store now, I see two of your apps.
All right, sir.
There's OCRITICAl. There's OCRITICAl Responder.
Yes, sir.
Explain, please.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So the OCRITICAl is the one for the, let me call it, consumer.
Okay.
Or the people that are trying to use the service, while the OCRITICAl Responder are
people who
the service providers for it.
Okay.
So like, it's like the same with Uber, the driver, and then the
yes,
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's it, sir.
Okay. So if there are people now watching and want to subscribe, what's the process? They go to the app.
They go to the app. They follow the process, and they download. And it would, they will log in, ask for their details, verify, and the stats. However, it is important to state here, even the Almighty God, in His own infinite wisdom and benevolence, in making man, He had the capacity of making the 8 billion people in the whole world at the same time, but He didn't do that. He gave us time to interact with the earth, time to, bring out our creativity, innovations, and profits. Now, there's what we call minimum viable products. So all of the modules are not, fully on board.
Okay.
But even Mark Zuckerberg even said that ideas don't come fully formed.
Okay,
but
so it's better. A gradual.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How do you sift off subscribers who are scammers?
Thank you very much, sir. For especially from the service provider point of view. Yeah, we have our various, know your customer kind of a thing, where we sift original people from scammers, as the case may be. For instance, for doctors, for nurses, for physiotherapists, for dentists and all, of course, for you to be certified, you have your license, you have your maybe the number, folio number. So we'll go through all this. Then also, because there is payments involved, we also get we have, they provide accounts. Of course, we don't, request for their BVN and all, but we have a gateway. We partner with one of the switching company that, it will verify their name and everything. So by that, and also, we also have in-house back-end people that also follow.
So you have a background checking system.
Thank you very much, sir.
That helps to ensure that people don't fall into the wrong hands.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you practicing medicine at all?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, to whom much is given, ma'am, much is expected. I'm a practicing doctor. I'm not just a doctor, I'm an anesthetist. I'm a critical care doctor.
No wonder it's critical.
Oh, critical. Oh, serious.
Critical. Everything is critical.
I'm a recording artist. I have 2 studio albums. I'm working on the 3rd, music videos. The name is Ludara Dave. I'm an author, by the grace of God. I have a book called Cashless Wealth. Timeless Wealth Creation from Zero Account Balance. I believe every Nigerian needs to read that book. If we read it and we start thinking that way, within 10 years, the developed world will come and say, guys, what do you want to do to be here? I'm serious. So I practice medicine. You know, too much is given, much is expected. You know, and all the glory to God. A man receives nothing except.
Where do you practice?
Well, I have some hospitals where I give.
Of course, anesthetists are all over the place.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You get called to this hospital
Yes,
today, that clinic tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. But you know, the lesser is blessed of the greater. So the greater is here now, which is a critical something. Critical something.
Critical.
So and we we are vesting.
What's been the reception from your own constituency, the medical world?
Oh well, it's massive, sir. You know, it's massive because okay, by God's grace, I'm a doctor, but with the twists of an innovator kind of, because I ask questions. Of course, medicine is beautiful sound to open the mind, but it's more like 1 + 1 is 2. There's no 1 + 1 is 3 by any formula or something. Now, there are some problems, some challenges, some bottlenecks that I've observed from maybe the primary level of care, the secondary level of care, or the tertiary level of care that we have been able to solve with OCRITICAl. So, you know, when it was announced, I think we officially launched October 27th or 26th, if I'm not wrong.
It's a brand new thing.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. So it's you know, it was a massive. The reception was massive. Like, wow, we've been looking for this, and we have come, to stay and to serve them better and to the ends of the earth.
When will the iOS be ready?
By God's grace, ma, before by September. I mean, I beg your pardon. By December, it should be fully out, and by God's grace too, from December, first week of December going forward, all the services will be top notch, and
the people.
So if you have iPhones, you can check in from the 10th of December. Start checking in.
Yes, ma'am.
From the 10th of September,
December 2022.
Before the end of the month.
Yes, ma'am.
It should be up and running so that you can download the app and start using it.
Yes, ma'am. But for the Android users, we already have it. But from
my partner already checked. In fact, he's on your website right now.
Yes,
so if you have an Android, you can actually access them right now
Play Store,
if you want to, if you require their services.
Yes,
so you can do healthcare, you can do
healthcare.
Medical emergency, fire emergency, crime,
there's a very
toll service, security, safety.
Yes, there's a very wonderful part of it. We call it panic. Maybe somebody is for instance, a highly respected artist passed away recently. I think yesterday or something. Yes, so for in that instance, for somebody who is on OCRITICAl. Now, there's a button called panic button. When you click on the panic button, it sends messages to your doctor, to your lawyer, to your who
would have been pre-programmed into the
program. Yes. So even if you are able to if you are able to press it, good. If you are not able to press it, within 15 seconds, it sends the message like, "Hello, help! I'm in a person is in a crisis. Hello, help! I need a crisis." So they can hook an ambulance, and the ambulance will come in real time.
OCRITICAl
something. OCRITICAl something.
Dr. David Oludara, CEO, co-founder, OCRITICAl Technologies.
Yes, ma'am.
OCRITICAl. So, imagine OCRITICAl, Ejo, before you call OCRITICAl.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for staying with us.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Sunrise will be right back with our lifestyle segment. See you in just a moment.